This is a question that often gets asked, so I've prepared a few slides and I'm going to show you some slides if I may. So just to recap, as you can see here, the program consists of 10 courses. The 6 core courses that are essentially common with the Masters and the 4 postgraduate diploma specific courses. Each of these 10 courses are delivered in what we call block release format, which means you start one course, let's call it strategy, you start that, you do it for 4 weeks, you write the exam, you finish it, you start the next course after that. So that's what we mean by block release format. There are 10 courses spread out through the year, starting mid-January, and the last course exam is written toward the 3rd week of November. So roughly 4.5 weeks per course. And I'm going to share with you on a later slide the structure of each of those courses. But what you can see on this slide is that these 10 courses are spread out equally over the year. Orientation on the 15th or the 22nd of January, and lectures commence on Monday the 24th of January, and essentially you will be in periods of lectures and exams and coursework throughout until the middle of November. Each of the 10 blocks you can see on this slide, the structure. If we are in the classroom, and I'm going to come back to whether next year we expect to be in the classroom or continue in virtual format, we try to accommodate people that are also in full-time employment, that we don't do too much during the day. So if we're in the classroom, it's Monday evening, Tuesday evening, Wednesday evening from 5 till 8:30, and then all day on Friday. So you would need to take 1 full day of leave per course. So 10 full days of leave through the year. And then the last lecture is done on the following Monday evening. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday evening, Friday all day, Monday evening, and then for the next 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, you do your assignments, you do your self-study, you prepare for the exam, and you write the exam on the Saturday morning of week 4. So each block is 4 weeks. Week 1 you're in the class, also Monday, week 2, Monday evening. Week 4 you write the exam. If we're in virtual format, then it's Monday evening, Wednesday evening, Friday afternoon in week 1, Monday evening, Wednesday evening, Friday afternoon, week 2. The exam is still on the Saturday of week 4. And the reason is we find in virtual format we need to spread things out a bit to let things sink in and do the exercises in a slightly different way. So that's the format. Let's just recap. 10 courses in block release format. Course 1 starts around the 24th of January. You then do 4-week blocks of courses and you finish towards the end of November, and you would graduate in the first half of 2023. So for the PDM, as I sort of briefly touched on it, the point is we want to make this widely available to anybody really who has experience in business and an entry-level qualification. So in a nutshell, the entry requirements are you need an NQF7 level degree, which is typically any bachelor's degree is an NQF7 level qualification. So we need an NQF7 level qualification, but we do want some work experience, and we need a minimum of 2 years work experience. And those are the criteria. It doesn't have to be a technological degree. It can be a BCom, it can be a BA, as long as the work experience is right. It can be a BSc. We're not too worried about the field because this is about management. It's not about particular technology or science. So a bachelor's degree, 2 years work experience. It is important when we get to the admissions that all the documentation and that you dot the I's and cross the T's, but those are the 2 fundamental requirements that we need for this program. We have a fairly, what's important to us is that it's a very objective process. So we have a fairly complex system which looks at the degree. And, there are some degrees, as I said, we accept from Bachelor of Arts to BCom, to BSc, etc. But there are some degrees that are more logically at the center of gravity of what we do than others. But more importantly than that, we look at the academic record. That we do prioritize people that did really well in their prior degrees. We look at any other certifications and qualifications they may have. And also we look at the work experience. We say, does the work experience suggest an interest in digital business? Does it suggest that you're actually in management and have potential in leadership? So we do look at the CV. That's important to us. We look at the motivation letter, which says to us, is this person hungry? We want people on this program that are really hungry. And we look obviously at other leadership positions and stuff. So we have a fairly complex, all-encompassing set of criteria and algorithms for objectively assessing all the applications. But I think it's fair to say the two most significant ones of all of those is the academic record and the CV and the relevance of the work experience. So the PDM in the field of digital business is a general management business degree, and the Master of Management in the field of digital business is a general management master's degree. So they really cover pretty much the same ground, but the one is very clearly focused and assessed at an NQF 8 level, National Qualifications Framework 8 level. That's the PDM. The master's is assessed and delivered at an NQF 9 level. So that's the one very objective difference. The ground that the two cover, they share what we call the 6 core courses. The 6 core courses on the PDM carry the same names and cover broadly the same topics as the 6 core courses on the Master of Management. But at a Master of Management level, they're assessed at an NQF 9 level, and they delivered in a slightly different, more NQF 9 level way. And that is why you need 65% pass on the PDM level to get a credit at the master's level. So other than that, the material is very similar. Obviously, when it gets to the PDM specific courses, they address some topics, and the Master of Management electives address slightly different topics. So there's divergence there. And the big difference, of course, is the master's has the research project, which is a central part of the master's, which really elevates it to a high status, high quality degree. So that's in terms of the academic difference between them. I think what is important is that the PDM is a really important degree for us because it sort of casts the net wider. More people are eligible, which we're really excited about because it makes people who aren't eligible initially for the master's able to get into, let's call it the pipeline. So you do the PDM, and then if you want to carry on and do the master's degree, and provided you got sufficient marks at the PDM level for the core courses, you are eligible for credits on those 6 courses, so you don't need to redo them when you do the master's. Let's assume you got great marks for all the core courses at the PDM level, and then you go on and do the master's. Then you would get credits for the core courses at the master's level, and all you would need to do is the electives and the research project. So it really creates a nice pathway for people who wouldn't otherwise be able to do the master's to get a master's level qualification. The admissions process, let me say up front, is quite a tortuous process. It is an entirely online process, and you access that process through the Wits University website. You could get there also through the wbsdigital.ca.za, but it's actually a Wits University admissions or applications page. As I say, it is quite, sometimes people find it quite tortuous, and I apologize in advance if that's how you find it. But the process is online, so you go online. It is important that you are aware of the requirements and that your documentation is correct. So I mentioned that we need proof of your NQF 7 level qualification. We need the certified academic transcript because your performance on that is an important consideration for us. We need your CV, we need your application letter, we need the certified copies of your prior qualifications or other certifications. So the documentation that you need to submit is spelled out on the website, but essentially that's the process. You apply online, and there are some helplines if you really struggle. So that's the process. Applications are open now, and they will stay open until the end of September, October this year. But we do accept applications on a, let's call it a batch basis. So at the end of July, we will accept the first batch. At the end of August, we'll accept the second batch. So you do enhance your chances of being accepted by getting into the queue early. I think it is important that I've spoken about the admission criteria. What is important is when you select the degree, you first need to select the postgraduate diploma in management, and then at the next level, you will be given the choice to select in the field of digital business. So the postgraduate diploma in management in the field of digital business is not one on the initial page where you select your course. You have to select the PDM first, and then that takes you through and you select your in the field of. Yeah, good question. So the qualification is formally a postgraduate diploma in management in the field of digital business. The certificate says postgraduate diploma in management. The transcript specifies that it is in the field of digital business. It is a formally accepted, fully accredited NQF 8-level qualification. So NQF, South Africa has the National Qualifications Framework, which has 10 levels. PhD is 10, the Masters is 9. So this is getting pretty close to the apex of the South African Qualifications Framework, fully accredited from one of Africa's absolutely leading universities. Unfortunately, the chair of digital business does not have its own scholarship or bursary allocation or available funds. We have to refer people to the Financial Aid and Scholarships Office at Wits University. That's really where people need to go if they need financial support or bursaries. Unfortunately, the chair of digital business doesn't do that ourselves directly.